Dive 845 in Gabinière, West. This was part of a weeks-long expedition with Clidive in the Port-Cros area of the south of France. Gabinière itself is an island just south of Port-Cros and is known for the friendly Dusky groupers. Here you can see just as we were descending, hadn't even reached the bottom yet, and they'd already come to see us. This one here was particularly inquisitive, came right up to both my buddies and then my camera, had a good look at us, didn't seem particularly bothered by the divers. It swims off here, but then a couple minutes later it came back to have another look as the second pair of buddies were dropped down. Swimming along, we pass a painted comber and then see another Dusky grouper there sitting on a rock ledge. In the distance there we have what I think is a Gilt-Head Bream swimming along above the seagrass. And then we start to swim around the island. We can see some more groupers there. Here we had a group of 3 brown Meagres. This was probably the deepest part of the dive at about 29 meters before we shallowed up again because there was less to see down there. Groupers were all sort of hanging out in the 15 to 20 meter range. You can see a couple there cruising in the water. And here we have one that does have a fishing hook stuck in its mouth. Not sure you'd actually ever be able to get rid of this hook because the fish, although quite used to divers, is not going to let you approach that close. And again, here we have 2 more buddies and a grouper coming over to have a look at them. This site is fairly famous, probably gets dived every couple days at least, so the groupers are well used to divers and their bubbles. Now I'm making a close pass of my buddy there, and again, one having a rest on a rock here. Managed to get quite close to this one before it swam off. And here again is this grouper with the fishing hook stuck in its mouth. Continuing round the island for a bit, over the seagrass and the rocky outcrops. As you can see, the seagrass continues for quite a while before it becomes a sand on the bottom. And there are bream there, as well as some more groupers. And in the back there, I think, is a common Dentex, with that slightly more dark-coloured upper side. Here we managed to find an area where the groupers seem to be aggregating. You can see about 5 in the picture here, as well as some more Dentexes around. These were all fairly calm and let us approach quite close to them to get some nice shots. Here's another one that was having a rest on the ground. In a second you can see it rotates its eye around to have a look at me. And me and my buddy accidentally sandwiched the 2 groupers between us, so they get up and have a swim around now. See it again checking out the cameras. We're getting towards the end of our planned dive time, had a bit of decompression to do as well. So we started to head back to where the shot was. Again, here you can see a grouper staring down a diver. This was right where we had started the dive, but this grouper was just hanging around checking us all out before we ascended to the surface.